What is up, everybody? Welcome back to an episode of Pokemon Go. In today's episode, we are in downtown Orlando for the first time, actually, which is kind of crazy. I've never been in proper downtown Orlando, so I'm doing a little bit of exploring for the first Gigantamax Emergence Event, and totally underwhelmed. I'm literally in one of the biggest cities in its downtown area on a weekend, and there's no one participating in the events. Right over here is Lake Eola, which is one of the big spots in Orlando to play Pokemon Go, and there's nothing going on. On Campfire, there's nothing going on for 10 a.m. in downtown Orlando. There's nothing going on pretty much anywhere in Orlando, from like Winter Park all the way down to Kissimmee. Like, there's nothing going on at 10 a.m. for anything for Gigantamax. There is in Winter Park at like 1:45, and then Disney Springs at around like 5 something. So I'll be going to both of those, but I wanted to kind of see, like, what is this about? What are we doing? Is this going to be popping off? And okay, one, very cool. It looks like Gigantamax, literally every single Dynamax power spot has turned into a Gigantamax Pokemon raid. Dope. It looks like it's going to be every hour it refreshes. Awesome. That means you can kind of camp out in one area and do your raids. Pretty cool. I like it. Picasso. But if you've been watching content creators from New Zealand, Australia, etc., not only are these things apparently extremely difficult to take down, even with groups of 20 or more players. Sometimes it's not even possible to take it down with 20 plus players. 30 plus player raid groups have been stated to not be able to take down Gigantamax Pokemon. This is wild. So unlike in my previous video, sometimes I'm wrong. In my previous video, I was like, okay, like groups of 4, like maybe this will be a lot easier than we thought. No, it's much more difficult. You apparently need large groups of players. Part of it is that for your Dynamax Pokemon, they basically need to be leveled up. So like currently, I don't have a powered up roster of Pokemon. A lot of people probably haven't powered up Pokemon because they've been waiting for a Gigantamax event so that we can get Gigantamax Pokemon. And instead, now it's like, okay, you need to power up like a Blastoise, a Charizard, or a Venusaur just to do these battles to get Blastoise, Charizard, and Venusaur. It's so silly. Like, a lot of these Pokemon have Gigantamax versions coming out eventually. Like, do I think Rillaboom is going to be coming out with its Gigantamax form anytime soon? Probably not. So it's probably safe to evolve this 96 Rookie into a Rillaboom and use this. Pero, who knows? We're getting Gigantamax Gengar a week after they announced Dynamax Ghastly. Like, that's crazy. I love the fact that we're getting these Gigantamax Pokemon, and I think that this is going to be really fun, but if you need 20 players, all with maxed out Pokemon, or up to 30 or 40 players, it's just not possible. It's not feasible. For people in smaller areas, absolutely not. This rip. And for, like, in Orlando, there's already tons of meetups for community days, raid hours, etc. already, like, all over the place. Like, I had such a hard time finding any Gigantamax things because there's so many other meetups on Campfire. And there's absolutely nothing for a Gigantamax at 10 a.m. for the brand new event, like, releaseal is absolutely wild to me. Absolutely crazy. But with that being said, I'm getting closer to Lake Eola. I'm going to do probably like a lap around there, and then we might need to cut back until 1:45 for the actual event start over at Winter Park to actually do a Gigantamax raid. Until then, I'll see if I get lucky, and let's go from there. Alright, so I think before we head over to the next thing, I've been looking at my Dynamax Pokemon, I'm like, ooh, there's not a whole lot that I can power up. Especially because I only have 500,000 Stardust. From, level 40 and level 50, certain, different Pokemon that I've gotten hundos and shundos of, my Stardust is going, so, we're going to do a thing. We're going to evolve our Sobble and our Thwackey into Inteleon and Rillaboom. Mostly because 96 is pretty darn good. There's only two IVs better, either a 98 or a hundo, that we would be looking for. So we're going to go ahead and get this. We're going to fast TM to get Water Gun, and we're going to get this to level 40. We don't even have... Okay. Yikes. What do we need? 248? I think. Alright, let's do this. Now, again, I don't want to invest any XL candies into anything that's not a 98 or a 100, which is part of the whole issue why people are having, a hard time with these raids, is that there's a bunch of resources that need to be used to get Pokemon to level 40, level 50 to make these raids easier. So instead, everyone has to go into these raids half prepared with Pokemon that aren't that good, Pokemon that aren't fully evolved, Pokemon that don't have their full Gigantamax levels like powered up to like max level 3, because the different Gigantamax levels start, you need to use, certain amounts of 40 XL candies, another 100 Grookey candies, and like even to power up our Grookey, we still need 248. So we're already investing rare candies, because when these things first got launched, we had no clue that they were just gonna be popping out, a Gigantamax Pokemon like this. Like, we were hoping, but like no one had any idea. Like, we hoped for Gigantamax Pokemon, but we were also hoping, like, okay, they're doing Dynamax, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander. Surely there will be a way to Gigantamax Pokemon. Surely there will be a way to Dynamax Pokemon. And instead, they're starting us from square one. So, definitely not ideal. But we're gonna go into this. We're gonna try. We got 4 Pokemon at level 40. We have this Metagross that has level 2 and unlocked moves. We have this Charizard that has a level 2 max Airstream that we need to change. No, Airstream works, I guess, because then it'll be neutral to water also and super effective against grass still, so that works. We're gonna try our best. But let's go. New Pokemon ahead to the decks. Alright, so we are here at the Winter Park meetup for Gigantamax raiding, and there are actually so many people. If we actually go over to the Winter Park meetup, because it is a community ambassador, we've actually gotten this really cool check-in code that gives us 800 max particles, which is dope. Beyond that, also, I think, here we go, 75 people have said that they're coming. There's at least like 30 or 40 people here, so that's dope. And then the other one that I usually go to is the one in Disney Springs, and I think that one is at 120 like people have said that they're gonna go, which is crazy. But we're still waiting for people to find parking and whatnot, because this is a downtown area, and there was also like an event happening here earlier today, and they're also staging for, I think, some kind of concert or something. So it's gonna be popping. So finding parking space was definitely difficult, but very cool. I'm very excited to be a part of this. We will check in intermittently because, again, lots of people. Not sure how people feel about being on camera per se, especially because I'm not usually in a part of this group. So I'm gonna be respectful of everyone. But hopefully we do a lot of Gigantamax raids. I'll pop in and out. I'll record the different encounters, and let's see how this goes. I am optimistic because we have this many people. Maybe everyone was just waiting for this. I'm hoping that's the way it's been, because I've been in this area for a few hours now. Got some lunch, had some great barbecue, by the way. Probably the best barbecue I've had since coming up to Orlando. Anyways, I'm excited. We're gonna actually start moving around in about 9 minutes. Let's get some Gigantamax Pokemon.
I used to hand out flyers.
Alright, so we have done some successful raids. Honestly, I think it's mostly due to the fact that we had like 70 people. And then towards the end it did start dropping off, and I was able to hop into some of the smaller, a group of 30 and then a group of 26. The group of 26 actually failed our raid. I'll throw that up as we're talking. And then the group of 30 was able to beat a Venusaur. So I think it kind of changes depending on like the bulkiness and the attack output of the opposing Pokemon. But the fact that you need minimum 30 people is kind of crazy. I am thankfully in a really good Discord server. And we had 70 people come out, and now the group for Disney Springs, the check-in is saying 160 something people are going to Springs at 5:30, 5:45. So I'm gonna head over there. I'm gonna see that craziness, because content and also Pokemon. But if we go ahead and look at our haul, Gigantamax, we were able to catch 5. We were unable to beat the 1 Charizard, so that'd be 6, and then 1 Charizard ran, so that's 7. So we were able to complete 7 in about an hour and 15 minutes, which is really good. A group of 70 people just kind of powering through it. Nothing fantastic, unfortunately, but we did get a 12-15-15 Charizard, and I believe an 11-15-15 Venusaur. So really not bad. A lot of bad ones there, but nothing quite enough where I want to like use more Stardust, because hey, I'm at 100,000 Stardust now, and I have double-digit Charmander candy. I could power up Venusaur, I could power up Blastoise, so I could power up a Blastoise, and then like my Dynamax Pokemon though are hurting. And it's also weird that the Dynamax and Gigantamax are 2 separate search groups, but I did also, for Inteleon, give it level 2 Max Geyser. I had to use more rare candies to get more Sobble candy. I'm out of Grookey candy, and I think I'm out of Score Bunny candy also, if I can find it. Where are you? Oh no, I have enough for Score Bunny. I just don't have a good Score Bunny. I got the 2 Charizards. This one's, coming up, but, I don't want to power it up more if I don't have to. So, let's go. Very successful, I would say. And let's keep it going. Alright, so we have made it over to Disney Springs now for the second round of Gigantamax raids. And boy oh boy, are there a lot of people. Oh my gosh. The sun is like right behind this whole massive group. But just to kind of like give some substance, all these people, it goes all the way around this tree, over here. All these people are here for Gigantamax, which is crazy. That's so many stinking people. It's actually wild. So there's definitely not going to be an issue of having too few people, and I'm super excited to do a whole bunch more raids, and hopefully we get some good ones, hopefully some shiny ones. And it looks like the group photo just got finished, so that means we should be heading out as soon as it turns 6 o'clock, and I'm so excited. Alright, so we have done a full day of Gigantamax raiding, and boy oh boy, does 100 and something people make it go by fast. So let's go ahead and check out what we got today for our Gigantamax. We're taking home 11 with one that we weren't able to finish and one that ran away, so 13 raids overall, which is really cool. More than I expected, especially after like the first part of the day where there was absolutely no one out here raiding in certain parts of Orlando. So definitely you need a group to do these raids. You need a big group to do these raids because we split up from like the main group and kind of went with like a faster like group that was doing like raid like 30 and like 24, and we almost didn't beat the 24. So it's definitely a struggle, but we got some okay stuff. We got this 12, 15, 15 and a 15 attack Charizard, and then for Venusaur we got this guy. This is probably our best like defensive one, but like you really don't need defensive Pokemon right now. You need Pokemon that can, I guess you do need to take a hit, but like the main thing is dealing damage, especially if you're trying to short man it or trying to like be efficient. You need something that can deal damage as well as take a hit. So all in all, I'd say it's a really good day. I think my experience was changed by the fact that I actually had a group of people that we were filling out like 40 people at a time in our lobbies for the most part. But yeah, I think it would definitely be very different if we were doing like raids of like 10, 12 people and just not being able to do it. Like right now, it just turned 7 o'clock and I immediately hop in here and look, we're already at 40 people. Like it's bananas. Let's see, grass. And like I have Pokemon, I have, you know, at least one Pokemon that I've actually powered up and like I've changed all the moves to be like super effective moves, not like Sludge Bomb and stuff like that. No Flash Cannon on Blastoise or things like that. So like I'm prepared. A lot of the people in this raid group are generally pretty prepared. And then we have, you know, the random extras in Disney Springs. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's episode. I think it was a lot of fun. I think that in big cities, this feature is a lot of fun. But if you're like a rural player, this is rough. But with that being said, all in all, I enjoyed it. I think I like the idea of Gigantamax raids. I just wish that everyone was able to have 40 people in the lobby. But that's not possible for everyone. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's episode. If you did like it, go ahead and smash the thumbs up button. If you're enjoying the series, please subscribe. And as always, God bless, and see you for the episode of Pokemon Go.